by little, you start to, you pick one or two issues, and then you start buddying up with the right. And I see it with TYT and Anna Kasparian, and I'm curious what your thoughts on that are.
Before I answer that, I'm curious your thoughts on, do you think it's going to go fully in that direction? Like, do you think it's genuinely going to end up like a Jimmy Dore or a Dave Rubin?
I personally don't think so. I think Jake Uygur, for me, and Anna Kasparian, for me, in my perspective, I don't know. I don't know why I'm saying this, but this is the way I look at those guys. And maybe I'm the one that's totally wrong. I think they are more honest than all those lefty. I really believe that. I think they are more honest than all those lefty. That's my position. And even then, like fighting for the trans issue and saying that like it looks like, because I understand that I want to let the trans be respected and be and we should not push them away. I agree with that. But the way the left are fighting for it, it seems more like bullying, and they're lying and they're slandering the people in a very nefarious way. That's the way I look at it. Like you see, he's saying that about you. We never said that. Like he said like something about Cenk, that like Cenk wants to ban the trends. It's not about banning the trends. It's like a curtain over something. You put in a curtain, you put him in the closet sometime. And by the way, the trans and the gay people used to do that because they understand that the lifestyle is something that it's a progressive thing and it takes time. And we are compassionate and we are understanding of people that it takes time for the country to go that way. We're not gonna make the people eat like 20 sandwich in one day. It seems like the way I look at some of the people on the left, you guys want everything to be understood right now by everybody. Now, all hands on deck. I don't think it's like that. Like when you deal with people that you love. If you love people, if you don't want to cancel your mother, your daughter, like you know what I'm saying? If you're that kind of person, I don't know what kind of person you are. Maybe you're gonna cancel your mother, your daughter because she voted for Trump. But like there's some lefty that say that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the dictatorship, the bullying, the only way, like you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find out like, okay, I'm not gonna call it bullying, but like the extreme aggression. Do you see that on the left? You guys don't see that at all? That like there's an extreme aggression. Like there's one way or the highway. Jake is talking to PBD. PBD is like some guy that's like he's a capitalist. I'm a capitalist too, and then Jake did say that he's a capitalist. And but he's saying that like we're gonna fight, we're gonna and then we're gonna drink beer. Is that a bad thing for Kyle Koneski? So you don't want to. So you look at these people as animals, and the way you look at those people is like you look at them the same way that the fucking CEO died, right? Even Chris Wack talk about that. Like the guy, the family, he died. So you don't even say he's an animal to you because of the numbers on the Excel spreadsheet. Because you see numbers 20%, 13%, you like fuck this guy. Yeah, let him die. It's Excel spreadsheet and numbers. That's the biggest thing for you. Is that what you're saying? Like, is that the way you're feeling? You don't even like look at it. Not even for 1 minute, and you think like there's nothing, there's no introspection, nothing like that. Asanabi talk about he wants to do an introspection, so you don't do that at all. You think you're a good guy because of the Excel spreadsheet, and then there's 10, 20, 30,000 people. You think that you have the upper ground as far as like be more morally pure. You didn't feel anything about the guy, nothing at all, like an animal. Wow. But like this is what I'm saying. I feel like where I am when it comes to the healthcare issue, I'm totally for a single payer option and for nobody to die when it comes to the healthcare. But I'm also insanely mad and insanely sad and insanely touched by the way the guy died. He woke up one morning, he put his suit, pow 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 pow, dead. Like that doesn't affect you at all, and so basically you feel like you just want to jump into Medicare for all right now. Like I don't understand. Like, but maybe that's the way it is. Maybe that's what define a good person. But for me, this is weird. Somebody just died. Like so we gotta talk about that too a little bit. It's not about like I want to push my agenda 24/7. Human life died. Like whether this or that. Like me, it touched me. It really touched me the way it died. Like I didn't like to see that. And even YouTube said that. Like you don't want to see that it was kind of graphic. And I see that you guys didn't talk about that at all. But I'm not trying to blame you or judge you. But I still think it's kind of weird, man. Are you a human being or like because I kind of feel like you wouldn't mind killing the guy too yourself with a gun. That's the way I feel about you. You wouldn't mind, like.
Yes, I do.
Wow.
If you asked me this a year ago, I'd say probably not. I was in that position where you were in probably with like Joe Rogan, where it's like, no, I think that you should try to reach these people. I think that maybe there's just a genuine agreement. But to me, with time, it's become apparent that like both Cenk and Anna, they just don't want to listen to good faith criticism. And you know, we all kind of like talked about this in different ways. Like on leftist
This is what's interesting about this lefty debate and the right wing debate. They don't want to listen to good faith criticism. I'm as the audience of the Young Turk watching all those debates with Francisca. I feel like the extreme left don't want to listen to good faith argument. The extreme left is doesn't want to do that. You cannot say that that just because somebody feel that you shouldn't put you should do testosterone tests for people, that means that they want to ban trans athlete. You cannot say that. That's a lie. You're just lying. That's you not being good faith. But let's see. Let's look at the situation with Human Rights Report.
Mafia, for example. And what really struck me is how, they just disregarded the arguments that we made. It was not in bad faith, even though they don't want to, acknowledge that. It wasn't in bad faith, but they said it was in bad faith. And for me, I think that moment that really like clicked with me, like, no, it's over, was when they went after Emma Vigeland, because
Emma Vigeland went after them very hard too. Have you heard what Emma said about Anna Kasparian? These people are weird. They only look at things one-sided. It's like it's a selfish way of looking at the world. What did Emma say to Anna Kasparian? It was awful. Emma Vigeland is a very, very toxic person. It's like, she's unbelievably toxic.
Good chance you
Guys,
get Elon Musk to
Jake,
respond to you.
okay.
Elon Musk is
I think Jake made a big mistake by doing this. I don't think that's what people want to hear. I don't think you can go. I don't think you can be a progressive and then literally say that, oh no, the Republicans are better. That. That's kind of what he's saying in this tweet. This was the tweet when he was talking to Elon Musk about the issue about the Pentagon thing. Uh, like he even talked to Elon Musk, and he's trying to like get Elon Musk on board to cut the Pentagon. And I want to show you how this thing went. Like, it's funny.
Activist, very popular in left-wing circle, guy Ian Miles Chong. All of my favorite lefties, they get tweeted about fawning by Ian Miles Chong, but let's not play guilt by association. Hey, Elon Musk, put me in charge of the Pentagon. I'll slash $400 billion easy. That'll get you 20% to your goal of $2 trillion right out of the gate. I went to Wharton 3 years before you. I own a media company, so I know how to run a business. If you really want to cut it, put me in, coach. Elon Musk says specific suggestions are welcome.
So Elon Musk did not employ him. He just asked him for specific suggestion. You wouldn't think Elon Musk would just be like, "Hey, just give me a job. Just give the guy a job, man. Like, what the hell? He wants to be hired, man. Why Elon Musk is like that toward him? Just hire the guy. Hire him. Elon Musk wants to work with you."
And then he says, as you know, you need to see the line items in the budget, but I have one suggestion already. The generals are not allowed to get a job with defense contractors for 10 years. They authorize so much wasteful spending because they're going to get hired by those same companies. Now, I just want to add, before I get your response, Evan, that in my view, there is a whopping 0% chance Elon takes this advice. But what are you giving? What percent chance are you giving it?
Is there a way I can go lower than 0?
I actually think Elon Musk is going to take his advice, because I think Elon Musk definitely believe in the defense budget cutting, because Elon Musk wants to get the money, the rest of the money for him to go to space, to go see the aliens. So, to go visit the aliens. I think that's what's going on. Elon Musk wants to cut the budget so that he can succeed in space and leave us on Earth. Yeah.
All right, so what I need you guys to pay attention, though, is the actual verbiage here. So Cenk says, hey, Elon Musk, put me in charge of the Pentagon. He's not just saying, hey, Elon Musk, take my advice. He's asking for a freaking job. He wants a job. He wants to be in charge of the Pentagon. So what, does he want to be the freaking Secretary of State or the Department of like the head of the Department of Defense or something? That's crazy. But either way, Elon Musk says specific suggestions are welcome. So basically, go f*** yourself. And of course, Elon Musk replies to just about anyone and everyone on Twitter. If you have even, like, a remotely high profile in media, or if you're a politician, like, there's a good chance you can get Elon Musk to respond to you. Elon Musk is terminally
Yeah, I am afraid that I'm afraid of this, because I feel like Elon Musk just responded too short, and it wasn't something big, and I feel like that's the only thing I'm afraid of. I hope that Cenk doesn't get messed up with this thing, and then they don't really use him. But where I stand right now, I'm gonna tell you, I'm at 80% that Elon Musk and Trump and all those people really want to do something for America when it comes to cutting down the budget. I really believe that. But let's see.
line. There was just a viral video of him and Trump at a UFC event, and Trump is watching the event. Elon's on his phone. He's glued to Twitter 24/7. So yeah, of course Elon's going to respond to someone like Cenk who's tagging him. Specific suggestions are welcome. So yeah, not a job, but I'll take your suggestions. Of course, he never responded to Cenk's suggestions. But then Cenk followed up with this banger. Oh my God, Zach, do you want to read this off? For
I
people?
asked Elon to put me in charge of cutting the Pentagon, and he said, "What are your suggestions? I run the largest left-wing network online, and a Democratic leader has never asked me that question." The idea that they would take advice from a populace is disdainful to them. Now, which side seems more open and inclusive? Which side seems more welcoming? Which side tries really hard to drive you away if you disagree even a little with their orthodoxy? Which side is asking for suggestions, and which one is demanding compliance and obedience? Well, boy.
Too much. Too much. I think Cenk is talking too much here. You don't have to bash your side. You don't have to say that your side is less obedient. The right wing has this problem, and the left wing has the problem. That like this is the way I look at it. You got to play politics very smart. You know what I'm saying? Because you still a left wing person, unless you are willing to leave the left and become independent or do something else. But if you're not willing to leave the left and you're gonna stay in that house of the left wing, you cannot bash them like that. You cannot say that. I think you're gonna have to say something else. You can say that. Well, Elon Musk is willing to talk to me. Hey, maybe I think if I was Jack, what I would say is like, hey, this could be a Republican Party that is very strange, very different from any other Republican Party we have ever faced. I would talk about that Republican Party instead of making the Republican Party is better than the left. I'm not gonna try to bash my lefty people. If I was Cenk, that's what I would have done. I mean, I think it would have been better like that. But just trying to improve the Republican Party, I think it's okay to do that. I think a left wing. Basically, this is how I look at the situation, guys. I don't know if you guys look at it like that. I think left wing and right wing. The right wing should not try to bash the left wing and say bad things, but then the right wing should try to make the left wing become better, more understanding of their view, and the left wing should try to influence the right wing. That's all it is. It's not about hate. It's not about hate. It's all about influence. You're the left wing. You're trying to see if you can influence it. And if you do influence them, that means you're a hell of a politician or a hell of a media creator or an influencer. If Cenk succeed at this, he's on top of the world. If Cenk, guys, I hate to say that to people. If Cenk succeed at this, he's on top of the world because everybody else is sitting down saying, "Hey, America for," but meanwhile nothing gets done. He's out there. If he cuts the Pentagon with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, if the right wing populace pushes those people to do that, and he succeed, nobody can say nothing against him anymore. You and your strategy of bashing right wing or oh yo, don't go to the right wing, don't talk to them, don't agree with them, don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? You just got a show and that's it, and that's what your show is about. It's just a black post. But if he succeed at this, we got to give him credit. It's kind of like Trump. Everybody hates Trump. We all hate Trump, but he got elected again. So there's something going on with the Trump phenomenon that we don't fully understand. That he's getting more popular. Some people say that it's a little bit of vibe. I think Karl Kolensky said that maybe he has a vibe that is very, very attractive. I believe in that too. Like Karl Kolensky said that. I think Trump is more of a vibe president.
This is exactly what I typically hear from the home of progressives, that the Republicans are actually warm, open, and accepting. What was your reaction, Gavin?
Yeah, that's all it took. Cenk getting responded to on Twitter.
Pat on the head like a little dog.
All it took was Elon Musk literally responding to his tweet. And now all of a sudden, I guess the left kind of sucks and the right pretty base.
The Elon Musk, world's richest man, base.
Yeah. Which side seems more open and inclusive? Literally all that happened was Elon Musk responded to your stupid tweet, and now you're going to say that the right wing is more open and inclusive? Oh my God.
Yeah. I hate to say that. I agree with the Vanguard a little bit. I don't know. I'm not saying I agree, but Cenk has to be careful with this because you don't want to look like somebody that's grasping for air. You know what I'm saying? I hope that everything is okay. I hope that 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 everything works out perfectly, because I don't want you to look weird in front of everybody, because if this doesn't work out, it will be like egg on your face. But if it does work out, Cenk, you're the king. If it does work out, you're the king. And I have to say that about you, and I will compliment you on this. And me, as far as my media, I want to push Cenk to be able to accomplish this. I want Cenk to succeed at this. So I want to be behind him, and like I want him to like be able to be effective at influencing the right wingers to do the right thing. Now, let's keep it real, guys. After this one, let's say there's that victory. We caught the Pentagon. After that victory, there might not be any other victory because we're still dealing with the Republican, but it's still a great victory. You cannot deny it's another great victory, I believe, and I know the left wing don't believe in that. I believe eventually we need to have a single payer Medicare for all, but I also believe that because of that, we cannot have open border. I think those things are related. Open border doesn't work with like Medicare for all. I think the private health insurance things doesn't work. We need to figure out a way where everybody is insured in the United States. But in order to be effective at this, we cannot allow a bunch of immigrants to come in because it's going to pollute the system, I think. Like, it's nothing against the immigration. It's like looking at the financial aspect of it. It's okay to say that. It doesn't mean you're an evil person. I actually think it's the other way. For me, it's weird. I look at it like the other way is evil because you know it's not possible, so you're just having fun. This is just like a hobby for you. It's kind of like during the BLM protests, like during the summer. There was just people, they were not fighting for joy for anything. They were just enjoying the vacation. They were doing barbecue. They thought it was fun. So I think there's a lot of people like that, guys. There's a lot of like vacationers. People are enjoying their life and stuff like that. It's not like they are fighters or revolutionaries.
Oh my god, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. And again, like, he's not going to follow your advice. He's not going to follow your advice. Obviously, if Elon Musk, or if Donald Trump, rather, if he actually appointed someone who was anti-war to, like, the DOD, yeah, we'd give him credit, obviously. We're not stupid. Obviously, we would give him credit if he appointed, like, freaking Noam Chomsky to head the freaking DOD. That's not going to happen. He's going to appoint someone from freaking Lockheed Martin, and none of these things are going to happen, Jake. None of the crap that you suggested.
Let's see. I don't believe that. Those guys, they do not read Donald Trump clearly. Donald Trump has been anti-war forever. Donald Trump, he does have something for this country that he wants this country to win. Donald Trump had beef with John Bolton. John Bolton is like a warlord. Donald Trump talk about those things all the time. So I don't believe that Donald Trump is like a guy that doesn't give a damn about America. You know what I'm saying? Just want America to fail. I don't believe that, but maybe that's the way you look at it. I don't believe that. I don't believe that this is his goal in life. But I do believe he's a narcissist. He has a lot of things in him. Donald Trump, he has a very ambiguous personality, and many people are confused. I'm one of the people that are very confused about him, extremely confused. There's a lot. There's a lot of negativity in Donald Trump. A lot narcissism, like a fascist. He has like the nature of a fascist. So all those things are embedded with Donald Trump.
Freaking Elon Musk is going to happen. We all know that. So what are you doing? You're leading your audience down a rabbit hole because you want to pander to MAGA and you want to stay relevant, which means making right-wing content and normalizing Donald Trump. I think basic.
Right-wing content. I hate to say that. I would like to. I don't know. I don't know how Cenk look at it. I think Cenk should turn down on this. He shouldn't like bash the left too much. But maybe he's doing that to pander to Elon Musk and Vivek, and maybe what might happen is like if Elon Musk and Vivek are smart and Donald Trump, they're gonna take him in. Like, and I think it was smart for Donald Trump to pardon Eric Adam. I think it's very smart to do that because Eric Adam, everybody knows in the world, everybody knows that Eric Adam did not want all those immigrants. But in the beginning, he kind of let them in. But at the end, he's like, yo, I need money, man. Where's my money? Like, what are you doing? Why are you letting all those immigrants come in? You cannot do that to me. But the far left, the crazy left that believe that they are Jesus, they are better than Jesus. The extreme left that think that they are better than Jesus. That left, they will agree for the whole Latin America to move to the United States. And they will. I personally believe they will not say no. There's too much immigrant. I don't believe that. I really believe that. I don't think they would push back against that. If the whole Latin America moved to America, I don't think the left's gonna say this is bad. Like the far left. I'm talking about the extreme left. So everybody from Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, Mexico, Colombia, Venezuela. If everybody moved to the United States, I don't think the left's gonna say that. Oh, we cannot have all those immigrants. I don't think they're gonna say that. I don't see Crystal Ball coming and say like, oh no, that's not fair, man. Like just go to your place. I don't think so because they want to be on the extreme side. You know what I'm saying? I think Kyle Kolinski will probably play the same game also.
Basically, what he's doing is the Joe Scarborough maneuver, the Mika Brzezinski. He's going. This is his way of kissing the ring. This is his way of saying, "I am not one of the wokes. You hate woke. I hate woke. We all hate woke. Let's talk about what we agree on, right, Eli? Like, let me weasel in here. I hate the wokes. Nobody hates the identitarian left more than me."
I personally feel like you guys on the left don't have to hate Cenk for that. The way I look at the left, it's a huge umbrella. It goes all the way from Nancy Pelosi to like you guys. You guys on the extreme. I don't think there's somebody extreme than you. This is the biggest question I have for those guys, for Kyle Kolinski, because I believe it's a competition. I don't think it's real. I personally believe it's a competition. I don't believe that it's real for me. Not for all of them. Not all of them. I don't know who's real, who's not real. Like Kyle Kolinski, what is that? Francisca or John Idola. I want to ask them a question. That is a very interesting question for them to answer. Have you met somebody in your life that's more left than you? That's the question I want to ask them, because I think for me, when I look at those people, like I think they are showing to me that nobody can beat them. Because if I'm looking at an Olympic of lefty, I'm gonna give like Kyle Kolinski. Let me see. Is it gonna be Asanabi or Kyle Kolinski? If you're gonna want an Olympic, who would you give the goal of, like crazy left, like extreme left, the left that nobody can touch? Is it going to be Kyle Kolinski, Asanabi, or is it going to be like Emma Vigeland or Sam Cedar? It's a tough battle, man. This is going to be like a tough competition. Those guys are like very, very close to each other. It's like, I'm saying, I think like Sam Cedar, like, let me see, Sam Cedar, Kyle Kolinski, let me see. This is a tough one. I don't know. I think it could be a tie. Those guys are very, 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 very close to each other, and they're competing against each other to be the most craziest. Like,
I'll sell every last trans kid down the river. I don't. Okay, I'll make.
He never said that. You see how you put in what? You see how they're being dishonest? He never said that. But that's the game that those four left are playing. They're acting like a Jake is saying that I'm gonna put them down the river. But I think he's also joking, this guy. Like, but.
I'll make the Young Turks look like playtime. Okay. I mean, I'm just kidding. We never did that. I mean, we did do that, but I'm sorry. I mean, oh god. Yeah. Yeah. And we also have a response from Emma Vigeland, who previously worked for Cenk Uygur at the Young Turks. I thought this was a pretty, epic clapback. Emma says, "Why does your assessment of politics change based on who pays attention to you? Specifically, a billionaire." So true. Yep. And this is actually the second time it's happened in this election cycle. Not necessarily with a billionaire, but RFK also nuzzled up to Cenk Uygur, took him on a hike, and then all of a sudden Cenk changes his tune. Literally the next day on TYT, he goes out there. Maybe RFK's not so bad. Maybe we should listen to what he's saying instead of just mocking him. Maybe instead of talking about brainworms, we should actually respond to his arguments and all this crap, right? It's so obvious that Cenk is, it's just access. He just wants access to these people. He wants to have rich friends. He wants to hang out and drink cocktails with RFK.
Okay, and I understand you want to say all those bad things about Cenk. I think you know what? I think your assessment is kind of right, but I think that assessment is an assessment that everybody in the world would not deny. You know why I respect Sam Cedar? I respect him a little bit because he said something that he was honest to himself. He said that like, hey, none of us none of us will hate being the CEO of Twitter. Everybody would love to be the CEO of Twitter. So, and I like that he said that, which is good for him,
RFK and go to Mar-a-Lago. That's what's happening. It's wild to see. It's genuinely wild to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's humiliating, right? It's just, I mean, this is the end of Cenk's. I mean, it's the very, very end of the road, right? Because what he's doing is he's saying that it's really all about him. It's really all about how the world interacts with him, the world treats him, right? It's all about him building his media company. Can he get clout, right? I don't know. It's hard for me to make sense of him. It's like, oh, you're going to go work with the world's richest man and a union buster, and you're going to do it all through the Trump administration, and you're going to go ahead and launder their reputation after they pat you on the head like a little doggy. Like, are you kidding me? Like, give you some scratches, like a good little boy, and now you're like, yeah, now I'm going to turn my attention back to the real problem. Are you kidding me? Almost sounded like Alex Jones. I broke into the wrong impression for a second.
Yep. And also, like, just to address the substance also of Cenk's original tweet saying, "Oh, no Democrat has ever taken my advice." That's BS. You had a direct line to the Bernie.
Oh, that was wrong to say that. Cenk, I hate to say that about Cenk. I think you messed up there. Like, Like I love and I'm on Team Cenk, guy. I'm more on his team. I want Cenk to win. I want Cenk to prove the left wrong. I want Cenk to prove the left wrong. I want the populist right to rise. I want Elon Musk to really cut the Pentagon and Vivek and all those guys. Even though they are scammers, but everybody's a scammer though. It's like, you know.
Campaign. Rokana has been on TYT how many times? I'm sure you've had many conversations, Cenk, with people like Rokana. Obviously, you started Justice Democrats for a while. You had a relationship with many of said Justice Democrats. Like, I'm sorry, freaking Nancy Pelosi's not calling you. Like, what do you want, bro? Like, also, Elon Musk isn't even actually elected to any office. He's just a...
Exactly. That's another thing too. That's why the thing is a little bit scary. Elon Musk is elected to any office, but I think what we're gonna see in this cabinet is that we're gonna see how influential the billionaires are. Even Whoopi Goldberg said that Elon Musk is the vice president. I think I agree with Whoopi Goldberg. It seems like it. He's talking a lot about education. He's talking about like stuff that shouldn't happen. Wow, it's pretty interesting.
billionaire who owns Twitter, the platform that he responded to you on. Yeah, he's terminally online, bro. He responds to a lot of people on Twitter. That doesn't mean that all of a sudden now you have like influence within the halls of power.
Yeah, like
Are you
10 years
kidding
ago,
me?
Seth Rogen responded to Gavin, but we're still not hearing back on when we're going to get our pilot financed.
Exactly that. But it's so like Elon Musk is not the president. He's not even an elected official. Getting him to respond to your stupid tweet is not indicative of the left being less welcoming than the right. That's
I do agree. I do agree with that. I'm sorry. The Wenger is right about that. I think Cenk in that situation just he went by impulse and he just said something like that. Like that tweet, that response of that tweet was amazing because it's Elon Musk. But these days, social media is crazy, man. You can talk to Kim Kardashian, and it's not a big deal on social media. It can happen. It's not impossible.
that's so dumb.
Yeah. Anyway, that was all I had in store for everyone today.
Okay, let me see. Let's see. So now we're gonna go back to Kyle Kolesky, man. He's gonna break his silence on the TIT right wing pivot. So Kyle Kolesky is definite that TYT is making a right wing pivot, or maybe TYT is doing like a pivot, like some sort of a jiu-jitsu move where they're gonna work with the Republican to accomplish left wing policies. That's what I think TYT is doing, but some people don't believe in that.
Glenn, they know her more than they know us. You know, I was part of TYT Network. You were part of TYT Network, but we didn't have that close relationship. I never was at TYT Studio. I think you were only there a couple of times. So, like, there was that degree of separation between us. But just to see them disregard the criticisms of the left. I mean, we all criticize each other. You and I have had debates, like, in DMs on Twitter about fucking specific healthcare bills and shit like that. But we never, like, I never thought, oh, Kyle's a fucking grifter. And I don't think you thought the same about me. It was just disagreements that we were hashing out. And even, like, I said something about Wolfpack on my show. And Cenk had reached out to me privately and said, hey, the people at Wolfpack think that you got this wrong. And so I'm like, oh shit, I don't remember what it was in particular, but I brought on one of the directors of Wolfpack on my show to correct the record and talk about Wolfpack. And it's like, it's one of those things where we're all going to eat shit. You know, we're human beings. We don't have massive, production crews. We kind of just get on camera and we say what we think. And so there are going to be times where we trip on our own dicks. So we have to eat shit sometimes. And our peers are the best people to hold us accountable. Like, if some random YouTube comment says, hey Mike, fuck you, you said this, you're a terrible, terrible person, I'm going to disregard that. But if Kyle reaches out to me and says, hey Mike, I think that you really messed up here, that's when I'm going to think, oh, okay, well, Kyle's saying this. He's been doing this for a long time. I respect him. He respects me. So that to me is why I think TYT might actually just be straight up gone. Because they've tuned out all of the people that were closest to them, that respected them, that they respected, and now it's just right wingers, Glenn Beck, PBD, and it's not a bad thing to go on these shows at all. Going on, but it's what you do when you're on these shows, right? Like, you were on PBD and you criticized them, you challenged them.
Yeah, the whole thing was a debate. Yeah, the whole thing was a debate.
The entire fucking thing was a debate, and this was the same criticism.
I saw the show with PBD and Kyle Kolesky. There was a lot of debate, but there was a couple of agreement and nice thing too. Like there was, I want to see that show again. You guys got to see that show because I believe that the left should go on right wing media, man. They should do that more.
That we had with Jimmy Dore when he started going on Tucker Carlson. Like, I don't care that you go on Tucker Carlson. I'm not trying to, like, police where you go. You're a grown man. But if I were on Tucker Carlson, I'm going to speak truth to power. I'm going to criticize him for the white supremacy that he's espousing. And I don't see that. I see them going on these shows, attacking the left. And to me, it's like, okay, you know what? Maybe 5 years ago, I would still be more charitable. A year ago, I'd be more charitable. But I feel like we've seen this show so many times. It's a rerun. And I actually think they're less subtle. Like, I think Anna's less subtle than Dave Rubin's grift at this point in time.
It's almost like they had kind of the opposite reaction as me. So, like, in 2016, it looked to me like they were fully in resistance mode, where it was like, man, we're gonna fight tooth and nail on everything, fuck Trump in every imaginable way, even to the point where, there were some areas where I disagree with them on, like, Russiagate type stuff. I was like,
same.
I don't agree with these particular criticisms that they're making, but it seemed like they were in full-on resistance mode, and they maintained that all the way up, seemingly until recently, and then the mindset, so in the same way as, like, I was trying to, like, find bridges or areas of agreement from 2016 on, And then eventually I realized, shit, this didn't work. And I flipped, and now I'm being super aggressive, and I'm the one that's resisting. And for them, it was resist, resist, resist. And then just recently, it's almost like they just got tired of doing the, we're in the resistance, we're going to fight everything. And now you hear Cenk's big thing is like, we got to unite the populist right and the populist left, and here's this area and that area where we can agree. But what I would say to Cenk in reaction to that is, it's not, like, they're completely and utterly full of shit. Every single one of them. That's even the, and God bless Bernie. I love him. I don't think Bernie's a sellout by any stretch of the imagination, but his strategy on this has been like, I agree with Trump that we should cap credit card interest rates at 10%, and I agree with Elon Musk and Doge that we need to cut the Pentagon, and he's putting that out there. But here's the thing, Bernie. They're not going to cap credit card interest rates at 10%. They're not going to cut the Pentagon. And then when they don't do those things, all of those MAGA accounts are going to pretend like they never supported capping credit card interest rates at 10%. They're going to say they never supported cutting the Pentagon, and they're going to go wherever Trump wants them to go, because MAGA is effectively a cult. And so what I would say to Bernie is, I know...
Okay, but this is what you have to understand, Carl. According to Cenk diagnosis, he feels that this new group that Trump has got is not the same one as 2016. He thinks that they are different. He thinks that they're gonna act differently, and they're not gonna just like a simp for Trump. Everything Trump does, they're gonna kiss his butt. So that's where we are at. We are at like those guys are not like they're not just gonna kiss his ass like that. That's where we at. It's a mystery. It's a big suspense. We gotta wait, man. We gotta wait. Are they gonna kiss Trump's butt? Are they not gonna hold them accountable? Because it's true, the mega doesn't hold Trump accountable for anything. Trump can fucking like lie about the election, everything, kill people like porn stars, grab women by the tail. They don't care. They love him. But now 2024, it's a little bit different kind of Trump base. It's a different Trump base. More people got included. More people is in the base, and I think those voices you're gonna hear them. You know.
I know where your heart is. I know you're trying to do what you think is the right thing and get them in a gotcha and hypocrisy burn them and say, see, they were lying, etc. But they're immune to the hypocrisy burns. And so the real strategy is to upfront say, look, these people are full of shit. They're full of shit. They don't mean a goddamn word of what they say. And I will put in the same category, I put, the PVDs of the world and the Tim Pools of the world and the Joe Rogans of the world. Like, do you think Rogan, like when Trump starts doing objectively horrible shit, do you think Rogan is going to be on his show like, man, I really disagree with this? Like he did back in the day. Remember when the child separation policy was happening and Rogan had on Duncan Trussell and he went on like a pro-immigrant rant where he was saying, yeah. And do you think that's going to happen this time around? No. He endorsed the guy who said he wants to do a mass deportation. And if Trump does do a mass deportation, Rogan's either going to say nothing about it or just defend it, right? And so I think...
Wow, this is Karl Kolensky's view, man. So Karl Kolensky thinks like it's all a grift. It's all a grift. All of it. 100%. There's no hope for Trump. Trump is a total. Trump doesn't give a damn about this country at all. That's why we can't call. Let's look at this country.
I think that's the point. Is like, as we've been saying, there are way more allies who are liberals or who are just independents than there are the populist right. I'm of the belief at this point the populist right is fake. It's not real. They will flip on a.
Wow, the populist right is fake. It's not real. What do you think about that, guys? What do you think about that? That's a very good point, man. That's a very intriguing point. The populist right is fake. It's an illusion. It's a mirage, according to Trump. Like if Trump said that he's gonna go this way or this way, they're gonna fall in line. But this is where I want to ask Karl Kolensky something. If Trump allows all the immigrants to come in, right? Let's say he opens the border, right? And then crime start going up in the city or whatever, something crazy like that. Are you saying, is Karl Kolensky saying that like the right way is going to say, oh, this is good, I love all those immigrants. Like I love like the fact that if inflation goes up, because I don't believe it's true what Karl is saying, because Trump approval rating after January 6th was down to 30%. So the mega group they kind of like was moving away from Trump after January 6th. It was a small section of the mega group that went to do the protest in January 6th, but after January 6th, Trump was very unpopular. So there's a part of the electorate that's like that is not like a total simping for Trump. They're watching him. If they like what he does, like I don't know. I gotta see what happened, because I understand what Karl is saying about Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan simped for Trump too much. He betrayed everybody, and Karl feels like Joe Rogan will not push back against Trump. You know, that's what he feels. So,
dime to go where Trump wants them to go. And by the way, I know I'm right about this because, again, we have the first 4 years. I mean, already Trump has axed Lena Khan. Lena Khan was like the example of, oh, if they mean this and they're actually going to be populist, they will keep Lena Khan at the FTC. And they said, oh, J.D. Vance had said some kind words about Lena Khan. Maybe Trump will keep Lena Khan. And then we learned just last week, he's not keeping her. He's replacing Lena Khan with somebody who says, I want to stop the FTC's war on big business. So how many times do they have to fail this test before we call it for what it is? Jake Vance pretends like he's a populist. He's not even in favor of raising the minimum wage. He dodged a question on that during the campaign. He's not even in favor of the PRO Act. He said he supports the $6,000 child tax credit, and he didn't show up for the vote on the $6,000 child tax credit. Right? So it's just...
I see what Kyle is saying. He's got a good point. I think like what Kyle is saying is like this is why I didn't vote for Trump, guys. There was too many issues. January 6th, and he's not a real populist. Like I personally feel like Trump is saying things that the left should say, just to attract more voters. I think that's basically what Trump is doing all the time. But I do believe that Trump believes in a couple of things. I'm going to tell you what things Trump believes. I do believe that Trump believes that immigration, you build a wall, and I do believe that Trump believes that like in the war thing, I think Trump is against that too. That I do believe in that. I think Trump should easily. I don't understand what's the big deal. Trump should even easily raise the minimum wage to like $11 or $12.
I'm hoping, like I think a lot of people are, for just when something really bad happens, I'm hoping that there's some sort of an about face, right? Mm-hmm. And that TYT goes, hey, they didn't do the thing that I thought they might do, so now I'm on the warpath against them too. So I hope that that's the case. Well, we'll just have to see if that's the case.
Wow. So Kyle is dead set that Trump is gonna fail. Kyle is funny. Dead set. There's no hope. No. So now I'm not even talking about like the Trump administration, the future of Trump. I'm talking about like what is TYT gonna do? That's what Kyle is looking at TYT. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna save yourself? Are you gonna be baptized again? Are you gonna be the prodigal son and come back to your father Kyle? Like that's basically what he's looking at.
And I don't know. I don't know if I want to hold my breath on that because I am notoriously a horrible judge of character on these things, as we already just went through. Like we just discussed the Rogan thing. I gave him credit for way too long. For Jimmy Dore, I gave him credit for way too long. For all these people. But what I would say is this: I really hope that that Cenk or Anna or both, they talk to Sam Cedar or they talk to John Iadarola and Francesca Fiorentini, because it really does. They seem to think, as you sort of pointed out, that anybody who disagrees with them on certain issues, it truly is just a grifter and they're a liar. And whether it's crime issues or trans issues, they seem to think like everybody who's on the left genuinely loves crime, right? This is something I've heard from them. So it's like, I want them to talk to somebody who can rep that counter argument, who they respect enough to give them the space to make the argument, right? And I don't know if they'll do that. But
this is where me and Kyle we are weird. So you're saying that like people should not care about crime? This is weird, man. I don't understand who Kyle is. This is what the part I don't understand about him. It's like if crime is happening, people are complaining. And when you say defund the police on top of it, it does affect the election.
I'd be willing to have the conversation with them.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, I would have no problem having that conversation with them. But
because the bridge is burnt for a lot of folks, like it's burnt between myself and them. But I mean, like at least they could speak to Francesca or John or you. Because like if you think that we're bad faith, that's fine. Because I've taken the gloves off. Like I'm kind of past the whole maybe we can save them. I can fix them. I don't believe that. But for the people who are still on good terms with him, I think that the fact that he's not having that conversation, and Francesca actually just said, I was watching The Vanguard, and they were playing a clip of Francesca where she tried to have a conversation between them and John, and Cenk denied it. So the fact that they're not doing that is so frustrating to me.
But it's this idea. This is what Cenk's been going around saying now. Like, when we disagree, let's disagree, and then let's like go have a beer after, and then where we agree, let's unite. This is like his big thing that he's going around saying now. And it's like, look, I understand that, but it gets squirrely when you say that like PBD's an honest actor or Tim Pool's an honest actor. You can have a conversation with them, but you can't have a conversation with Sam Cedar, right?
Right.
So,
that's what is.
I mean, that's
so
just means,
frustrating.
and Cenk had Hassan. Cenk and Hassan did that thing on Thanksgiving, and I don't know. It just seemed like it was sort of like hitting a brick wall a little bit, right? Like it seems like there's an impasse, and I think the point is like if all of your passion comes out and you get really like fiery and riled up, just when it's those little areas of disagreement with the left, I think that's why a lot of people are like, I don't know if I like this, because that sort of like fiery anger and passion where like you're really about it. In a moment like this, all of that anger really should be targeted at the right, Trump just won the White House. They got the Senate, they got the House. This whole Doge thing is just literal billionaire robber barons who are going to loot the Treasury and, cut your grandma's Social Security and Medicare. And it's like, we really do need to be harping away on this and going after these people because it's about to get really ugly really, really quickly. And we really need both basically anybody who's anywhere left of center to unite and all be in unison and all hammer away. This was the brilliance of Fox News and the right-wing media sphere. Is like, so they'll have their stories for the day or the week and their talking points, and like every outlet under the sun will repeat it till the cows come home, and then they drive the narrative. They drive the entire political narrative in the country. And that's what the left is missing. That's what liberals and leftists are missing, is just in unison a media apparatus that's all harping away on the same things and steering the narrative.
This is crazy, man. Kyle Kolensky is the man. Very good analysis from Kyle. So let's see what let me see if there's anything else going on here on this freaking thing, man. Let me see. This is so interesting. So freaking interesting.
All the journalists that worked under him, hacking into people's voicemails for information that they could put into stories. Yeah, people say things about Piers too. Oh, great company Anna's keeping lately.
Well, I mean, she's hanging out with Glenn Beck, she's hanging out with Piers Morgan and other right-wingers and doing a lot of interviews. It is interesting, though, that, Cenk's going on PBD and all that kind of thing. It is interesting that still no response to Sam Cedars' both private request to have a conversation about this on the air on either TYT or on the Majority Report. If they feel more comfortable with it being on their platform, they can do that there. So Sam asked that of Cenk in the summer, and then publicly, I guess, 2 weeks or so, basically said we can talk about this in the conversation. No response, but very eager to go to Glenn Beck's studio and have a conversation themselves. So
they are taking the what they have been credited for through years of good work with a lot of good people. They are packaging up that for the marketplace and advertising it through picking a lot of fights. They've been doing this for a long time. We, 2 years ago, put a video up. The original title of that video was Anna Kasparian is not transphobic, where we tried to talk about the birthing person bullshit in a way that was constructive and could kind of maybe lead in a proper direction. She didn't listen to any of that, and instead got mad that somebody said that we were treating her with kid gloves. Because the truth was, we have been. For my entire career here at Majority Report, it has been a tongue-holding exercise for, like, Wolfpack, fucking harebrained. How many packs are we going to start to get money money out of politics? We have been...
How about one that pays Brianna Wu 5 figures for doing to post on Twitter?
If you think we're mean, you need to understand that actually that has been charitable. So
it has been based on what I have asked for, really, in part, because of and because of my personal feelings about the situation, and because of how sad it made me. I'm not somebody, trust me, you can ask my exes. I didn't break up with a lot of people. I stayed in way too many relationships for way too long because I tried to make things work for quite a while. That's not what happened here. So for us, I have plenty of wonderful friends in my personal life. I know you do as well, Matt. I don't need to put my personal relationships ahead of...
Billy and Billy posted a couple of clips of TYT embarrassing themselves, posting their L's, getting very angry on the internet on what they thought was their safe space. TYT, their bonus content is only for their paying members, and so they feel that...
The beef between... I don't like it, guys. I don't like the beef between Emma and the TYT. But I don't think it's going to stop, guys. I think this is going to keep going because Cenk made a pivot to the left. It's kind of like... Cenk, I think two things can happen. This is going to be very interesting, guys, what's going on with TYT, because Cenk is trying to expand, right, a little bit. He's trying to go to a new territory of the right-wing populists, the Donald Trump people. Those people are totally different, according to Karl Kolensky and those guys. Those guys are not your family, according to Karl. There's a part of me that believes in that. For me, I would never say what Cenk is saying, that like, oh no, the right wing are listening to me more than the left wing. What I would say is that, hey, this Republican Party could have some opportunities for us to make some changes. That's it. That's what I would say. I would never say that like, yo, they're listening more to me. It's just that, yo, this Republican Party, they might have some opportunities and we might be able to do something so that we can decrease the damage, so that instead of an F, we get a C minus. A C minus Republican is a very good thing. If you as the lefty and the left coalition, we are able to get a C minus Republican Party, guys, what else can you find? Even a D plus is a very good thing as a Republican if you're a lefty. And vice versa. If you're a right winger and then you got a Democratic Party that, like, at the end of the term they got a D plus, not an F, you should be happy with that. You know what I'm saying? You try to get the best deal. That's basically what it is, politics, you know. You might not be able to get exactly what you want. You know what I'm saying? You might not be able to get it, but you might get something close to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, and you should be happy with what you got. It's like, you know.
You should not come after somebody.
Remember the scripture in the Bible that said that count your blessing? Count your blessing is the way you have to look at the election. When you look at, like, when you're on the losing side, you gotta count your blessing.
Also finance Facebook. Did anybody ever use Facebook? I know Emma did. Because she used to make videos for us on Facebook.
That's just why we have a saying that there is no ethical consumption under capitalism, and that you should not come after somebody trying to do something about this unjust system that we're all forced to participate in by criticizing, well, you participate in capitalism as well, so you've got no room to talk.
You work with Peter Thiel, and Peter Thiel funded organization Facebook. Hey, give me all that money back from all of your videos on Facebook, because Peter Thiel financed Facebook. You gonna do that? No, you're not gonna.
This is just inane.
So it's just a piece of propaganda that they're using against us.
I don't give a shit, okay? I don't care at all. I'm here. I'm speaking my truth.
All right, so short clip there, and then I think the longer clip is here, if I remember correctly.
So finally, after somebody goes and does 1,000...
I might have watched these. I might have watched these in the wrong order.
Here's who's doing it. So finally, after somebody goes and does it 1,000 times, we're like, all right, fuck it. Here's who's doing it, and fuck them, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, oh no, I can't believe you're saying that about poor Jimmy Dore. I can't believe you're saying that about poor Dave Rubin.
This is my favorite clip. This is my favorite clip here, because like not only does Cenk like lose his shit, but it's like they're both losing their shit, and they're stepping all over each other to try to shit on people.
Poor Sam. Okay. So, anyways, yeah. And so, look, they claim to be more left wing, and then they'll.
I don't give a shit.
No, hold on. Let me finish.
Anna's like, I want to shit on them too. I want to break in here and shit on them. She's like, I am not done shitting on them yet. Hold on a second. Hold your horses, Anna.
Corporatist politicians, yeah, it's establishment.
I mean, they agree. They're not disagreeing with each other, right? But they.
Kamala Harris. What happened? I thought Kamala Harris was a cop. Now all of a sudden, oh, Kamala Harris lost. What happened? There's only two things that make you cry. When establishment Democrats...
Again, like he is somebody who saw Kamala Harris at the end of the day as a lesser of evils, just like a lot of people did without endorsing her, said that there was a benefit in voting for Harris to deny Trump the win. And there was, and that was true. But now he's acting like, oh, you supported Harris. Oh, I thought she was a cop. Oh, now you support her. Oh, you're going to cry your little tears because we're happy that Trump win. I mean, like, this is just all to cover up their fucking grift. They're absolute showing their belly. They're worse than Mika and Joe. All right?
This is the problem, right? You see what he's doing now? I'm going to explain to you what he's doing. He's branding himself, right? So he's doing something that's pretty clever. Because if I'm dunking on TYT, I got to go all the way. I want them to be destroyed. So that the viewers need to come to me. I'm going to show you a clip that he showed in the beginning. Watch this clip. Guys, the TYT is cutthroat. It's cutthroat. It's not a joke. It's cutthroat. Watch this.
So cozy up to right-wing figures, and then it turns out that they completely moved to the right wing because they're essentially paid to do it.
Welcome to the majority report. Everybody who's flocking from that and sinking ship.
Gloves are off, basically.
Wow. You see that, sir? Welcome to the majority report. Welcome to the majority report. Just come and flock toward us from that sinking ship. That's the way they look at it. That's crazy.
And at one point, I'm sorry you've gone down this road.
It's a sinking ship for them. Sinking. It's sinking. It's like everybody's dying. It's crazy.
Probably pissed Anna off, right? No, you didn't try to keep shit professional, Emma. You've been mocking me, especially, I think she means, and running your mouth for a year.
Wow. Okay. So, guys, this is where things get interesting between Emma and TYT. Because me, I'm trying to read the whole thing. I don't know how the thing started. And I would like to judge it. I would like to judge this thing. For what it is. Because I want to know, like, who started it. Who went more the toxic way. I personally think it's Emma. I'm on Anna's side, but like I think it's Emma. But like the whole left think it's Anna that went crazy. I think it's Emma that went crazy. So basically that's where the battle is at. I think it's Emma. They think it's Anna, and that's what makes the internet fun, guys.
Your regression into cheering on crime. They are a pro-killing podcast, as I pointed out yesterday. She's right about that, right? Cheering on, as a pro-killing podcast, that's, they've got to cheer on crime. In addition to your identitarian streak.
Okay, shit. Emma, you have been mocking me, especially and running your mouth for a year. Your regression into cheering on crime, in addition to your identitarian streak, is grotesque. Woo! Oh my God, this girl has got style. I like her, man. I like this woman. She got some style, man. I gotta find that clip. I gotta find that clip because it sounds too nice. It's amazing. The journalists, by the way, all the journalists, I gotta give them credit. All of them, from majority report, everybody. Those people got style. If you hear like Emma Vinglin, all those guys, Simpson, like, you know what I'm saying? I respect all of them. But I don't care if they, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if they hate each other. They hate each other, but they speak with eloquent. Those people are eloquent haters. They speak clearly with eloquence, but they hate each other. It's amazing. I want you guys to look at the beef. Like, think about this beef between Anna and Emma Vinglin. This beef has been going on by these two girls. So they were great friends, right? Back in the days when TYT just started. But Emma is like, in my eyes, it seems to be a little bit more toxic than Anna. It seems like that, but maybe I'm wrong. But Emma is playing a funny game that is quite clever. she plays the game that like I'm better than you, I'm more loving than you, and she's always playing that game. And so it's a battle of who's better than, than the other one. The left is crazy about this stuff. It's a crazy game. Okay, I'm gonna read this for you guys. This is Anna, uh, 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 fighting back against Emma. I hate to say that about Emma, but Emma is insufferable, man. Like I don't know, like I have a feeling like for me, I hate to say that my position is like I trust Anna more. I don't know why, but I do. Like, and yet another sign of a pathetic dishonesty. Emma was employed by TYT when the company announced the condition of the union. This cheap shot to make herself look like a class warrior cracked me up. Like, especially when she advocated that we all shut up and take when someone assaults us on public position. Not wanting to get punched in the face is a bougie concern after all. Like, to be fair, like I don't understand what's so hard about the left. Can you guys be normal? Like, of course nobody wants crime, but that doesn't mean you're not gonna vote for Medicare for all. You can say I don't want crime, and you can say I'm gonna vote for Medicare for all. It seems like the left, the way they look at the world, is like I don't see any crime, and that means that I am voting for Medicare for all. I don't see anything. It's weird. Unclear what this means. Unclear what this means. I'm a member of a union. If that's the shot of my upbringing, I will let my for itself. The TYT company is public. I've tried to keep all difference professional. I love you as a friend. At one point, I'm sorry you have gone down this road. No, you didn't try to keep the ship with my You have been marking me, especially and warning your mouth for a year. Your regression into cheering on crime, in addition to your identity and streak, is grotesque. So the beef. There was a lot of sign about the beef, right, between Emma and Anna, and Anna was like saying that no, you didn't try to keep shit professional, Emma. You have been marking me, especially and warning your mouth for a year. Your regression into cheering on crime, in addition to your identity and streak, is grotesque. So basically, me, I was in the metro in LA, and I saw many fights. I saw many dangerous things, and I did get attacked in New York, but this was way back. This was it wasn't right now. This was during before Giuliani, way back when I was in New York, like a long time. So getting attacked is not fun, and I think like even if you're a left leaning person, you don't have to make fun of people, and you can show some compassion to people that or dealing with pride. It's not about bougie or being a Karen. It's about like you care about the person. But some people they don't have that kind of like nerve inside of them. It's all about the Excel spreadsheet that the data says there's no crime, so I'm gonna go by the data. That's what they look at. It's data, just data. They don't even know the person. They look at data. But you know Anna, and you're telling me that like you got more feeling for the numbers that you see on your spreadsheet and your percentage than Anna that you know that she told you that something happened to her. I do not believe in those kind of people. I believe in people. This is the way I look at compassion. It goes both ways. I look at the CEO of United Healthcare Insurance, the way he got shot and he died like a dog. That stuck with me for a little bit, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you for 2 days, but I'm not like fucked up and also having a pity party and not sad about many people that don't have health insurance and they're dying. I was part of that. I'm advocating for medical for all. What is it like a single payer? I think we should go for the single payer and point blank and not budge on that. I think we should do it, But that's the way I look at the world. But so that's it. So let's go. Okay, so let's keep going, guys. Okay, so where's that guy? That guy is funny, man. I like that guy. Yeah, that's my guy right here.
Is grotesque. Now let's see if I've started this MR. What do we got here from Hank? P.S. I meant to include this as a summary of union busting tactics Cenk used. We'll get into this in just a bit. Sources for these 4 articles: TYT's post, NLRB filings, and Cenk's own words in email he sent to unionizing workers, which can be read here on Alex Thompson's post. TYT's union busting playbook: rejecting card check. There's a Bernie emote there. Withholding raises and bonuses. Captive audience meetings. Captive audience is when you bring in your workers to try to convince them not to join a union, and they're a captive audience because they're at work. They have to come. Challenged composition of bargaining unit. Insisting on a second election more favorable to the company. Emails. These are classic union busting tactics that they're employing here. Emails from a CEO pleading not to unionize. Claims that unionization would bankrupt the...
No. Let me explain to you guys, the audience. This is funny, right? Everything is funny in this world. Everything is funny. This guy, what he's doing, he might be doing this. I'm not fully sure. He might be doing this so that you can join his audience. so they can make more money. So it's like everybody is in the money game, but everybody's saying that I don't like money. So that's why they basically the game that everybody's playing. Everybody's in the money game, but everybody's saying that I don't like money. I like poverty.
Company claims that wage increase. So before they accepted unionization, as Anna's trying to say, they claimed that it was going to break them. They claimed that they couldn't have a union. They claimed that nobody would have a job if they got a union. They f***ing lied to their workers, it sounds like, from what I'm seeing here, in my opinion, allegedly, all right? Claims that wage increases would take from other workers, firing a worker in the bargaining union a morning after election loss, hiring management side law, and...
But I don't know, what the hell did this guy get this thing? This could be somebody that just wrote this thing. Like, nobody knows if this is true. It could be true, but I'm not fully sure. The way the union thing works, it's like it's good to have union, and I think employers should push for that. Me, I think I would like to have a union if I have a company, because I don't want to treat my employees the wrong way. But there's always dispute with union and employers. It's always gonna happen, but you don't have to hate the people. It's just business. Yeah.
and consultant firms and publicly spreading conspiracy lies and misinformation. RE bosses. Oh, this is about this is where Cenk's political career comes into that. So we'll get into all this, but for now, let's have some MR fun here in the fun half, which is sometimes the drama half.
Dave from Jamaica, Emma, you stating facts is grossly identitarian. Seems like people have been on Twitter. Jesus says, I think there's a reason to feel optimistic with the upcoming right-wing populist labor regime. Through shrewd betting through Polymarket, all workers will have the chance to build wealth. Dave from Jamaica, normally I don't dive into drama, but I think TYT love starting fights when what is their solutions to homelessness and crime? Just lock people up because it's clear they are not for free public housing. Yeah, obviously.
Let cops be cops, let ice be ice. As if that hasn't been what's been going on in this country for my entire life.
Sam's daddy says, I have a theory about TYT's recent swerve to the right. I think they are going on the theory that if you can't beat them, join them, but they are still on our side. Well, so they have to play their stupid game spreading the shit, but we'll take that money to grow the progressive movement. Or maybe I'm naive. Well, let's...
No, it's okay, Emma. They're monetizing you in order to grow their platform, but they're going to use it for a good cause. They're going to use it to bring, to get right-wingers on the side of Medicare for all and minimum wage.
So
I'm sorry, you take $20 million from a 900 millionaire and then it doesn't pay any dividends, and all of a sudden you're lashing out. It's very simple what's going on, and it's unprincipled and disgusting.
Well, I mean, look.
That guy in the back, this is the most toxic human being in the world. That guy, I don't know, he has an agenda, man. That guy is an interesting guy. That guy is funny, man. Like but you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. You know what? I don't want to get into that world of calling people names. I don't want to do that. I think that guy. All I'm saying is that guy has a position that you gotta diagnose it carefully. He says strong things against UIT. Me, I don't look at it like that.
Okay, I think that when you take that money and if they were, say, have given people big raises or, say, voluntarily recognize a union without hiring a union busting a law firm allegedly, because really...
Probably the new stakeholder didn't really like the union idea. I don't know.
I think it's part of that, partly...
You see, this is part of the propaganda they're doing against TYT, so that they can lose their viewers.
That I would imagine, but also partly the allegation, and you guys can read it, there was a Politico story about it in 2018, and also I would say that the NLRB complaint is public if people want to look it up, but they ended up having to recognize the union after a long legal fight, but...
I feel like Hank posted the NLRB complaint. Let me see if I can find it.
I know firsthand that there were efforts to suppress it. There are allegations of retaliatory firings. Or maybe not firsthand, I should say secondhand, but I've heard it from multiple people, specifically about the crew who were basically being allegedly denied overtime pay. So people can look up the NLRB complaint or whatever is already public with Politico.
Emma is doing a great job at showing that she's the good person in this thing. But I have a lot of fear. I don't know who's the right person. This is one of the most confusing things. I think I'm going to keep analyzing this thing. I'm going to go back to all the tweets, and I'm going to have my verdict. This thing is amazing. I don't understand what's going on here.
About the sincerity of those values, but at the end of the day, they're moving away from leftism, progressivism, even centrism altogether, it appears. At the very least, the emphasis...
Wow, they're moving away from centrism. Oh my God! These people the Young Turk is for transgender. But they want to test them after puberty, so that the transgender men doesn't knock out the other people. They don't believe that taxpayers should pay for people to change their penis in jail. That's it. But they are for transgender. They support transgender. The Young Turk will probably vote for a transgender president. That's the way they look at it, and I think they should say that. But I think but the Young Turk is probably not for overflooding of immigration, open border. But you look at majority report is for total open border. There should be no closed border. Majority report is I personally believe because they try to sell the product, they have to stick with their crazy ideas. I think that's what the way I look at them, a little bit.
emphasis has been about how we need to cozy up to the populist right or whatever. But
and it's the same way he apologized for the Caruso endorsement, but he endorsed Caruso the exact same way he's doing this whole I'm going on PBD and pandering to Trump voters thing that he's doing now. It's pandering, but in a way that, oh, surprise, it's really rich guys and really powerful people who are going to benefit. Maybe that's what we need instead of these corporate.
So this is what TYT had to post. We'll see more about this in Hank's documentary. We will rescind the rule we promulgated in the following statement to employees. I ask that you all bring your concerns directly to management rather than using Slack or emails that get sent to broad audiences. We will notify employees in writing that this has been done. So they had to post this in their office. National Labor Relations Act gives you the right to form, join, or assist a union, choose a representative to bargain with us on your behalf, act together with other employees for your benefit and protection, choose not to engage in any of these protected activities. We will not interfere, restrain, coerce. So they had to post this based on the NLRB complaint.
So, I mean, we had, honestly, because we're being accused of attacking them all the time, we had I had not spoken publicly about my feelings about their union busting. I'd spoken privately to a lot of people before, and I appreciate all the kind words that I got, and some people gave me some information I didn't know, actually, last night about it. So just because I didn't want to start beef, and we get IMs about things, we tried to respond in the best way that we could, and then recently we've been playing that funny sound drop just because we didn't...
It's shameful to have sold a progressive show studio to a crypto casino, regardless of who's
Peter Thiel's involvement. Yeah, it's an overseas betting market that isn't even legally allowed in the United States, and to sell the naming rights of a progressive media company to a corporation, I would call that corporate media. I don't know about you.
When we made the Peacock thing, that was to get a new employee, like pay employees. It wasn't this sort of thing where we're trying to a whole bunch of...
Like, I hate those kind of topic. Like, they try to show that who's the most clean, who's the most, like, anti-corporation. Like, you know, it's like, it's pathetic, this whole thing. If you got to make your money, make your money.
So a whole bunch of properties that we own. So the guy who had $900 million and noticed that we had a lot of paying members and thought that was a good business opportunity got his stake involved.
And at the end of the day, you know, I'm now in a union. I am in SAG-AFTRA. So which is because the majority reports to SAG-AFTRA signatory. So I joined that sometime this year. Sam's a part of that union as well. And I'm in favor of free and fair organizing without the employer doing anything but voluntarily recognizing the union. Definitely not hiring a union busting law firm on that front, but like...
I mean, it's our size. Like, we've talked about unionizing generally before, and if we were TYT size, we would have had a union by now.
And so all I'll say here is, like...
Not that they don't have one, but that, you know, like I said, the NLRB.
Right. I got off track. It was all to say that basically we held off on a lot of things that I think were worthy of criticism just because we didn't, because of my past personal relationships. And I would say Anna was a friend to me. I truly loved her as a friend. Like, and I told her that. So it's very sad. But...
Like, I don't know about that, Emma. I don't know. Like, the way Emma, like, throws knife at Anna... I don't know. I think the Emma's knife are sharper than Anna. I think they are.
The reality is that my principles in this business about calling out people who are doing the why I left the left shtick to appeal to the right outweighs any personal relationships I'm going to make in this space. So
it outweighs any personal relationship I will make in this space. So she doesn't take things personally. Okay.
With that said, since this audience is so interested in Dave Rubin and how much we ruthlessly mocked his arc of leaving the left from TYT, which Anna...
with Anna in the chair you're sitting in now at one point on the Michael Brooks show.
Laughing about it. I laughed about it with her. She laughed about it on air. We mocked this a lot. And in fact, Piers Morgan will play some of that mockery as well. Just to clarify things for folks, this is her explanation for her recent pivot.
But what people have said is, they said you were quite outspoken. I'll play it to you. This is what you said when Dave Rubin pivoted. Let's have a look.
There has been this prevalence of prominent figures who identify as the left, right, or on the left, who then later start to, you know, cozy up to right-wing figures, and then it turns out that they completely move to the right wing because they're essentially paid to do it. They're used as tools by the right wing to essentially spew right-wing talking points while purporting to still be on the left. In fact, Dave Rubin's a great example of that. Dave Rubin used to work with us. He identified as someone on the left. Yeah, go ahead.
Forgive me, Anna. Dave Rubin.
So yeah, this is Anna talking to Dennis Prager back in the day, you know, giving a pretty uncontroversial assessment of Dave Rubin. Dennis Prager tries to dispute this.
Made a video for PragerU, why I left the left.
Oh, I know.
He is not.
So he's not trying to pretend that he's on the left. No, Anna's describing a process. I think Prager probably knows what she's saying. He's just throwing dust in the air.
In fact, state to the world that he's still on the left. I don't know who you have in mind, so I
mean, she's right, but, you know, he's just using kind of like an a priori misunderstanding to...
only address the one name that you gave.
If you give me 90...
This is crazy, man. This is interesting. This topic is very interesting.
Address the one name that you gave. So, I mean, have you pulled a Rubin, as some people suggest?
Not only has she pulled a Rubin, she's about to pull a Prager.
I mean, I'm still So it was weird. And, you know, he kept saying that he was this classical liberal, but had trouble defining what that meant and had trouble reinforcing or at least backing up.
Anna is my fave. Anna versus Anna is my fave. That's why I love that Piers Morgan made her confront this. This is just the thing. Like, Anna's not going to go on any left-wing shows that would be like, hey, could you explain? You had a problem with Dave Rubin doing this. Why are you doing this now? You do owe Dave Rubin an apology. So it's kind of nice that at least somebody in the right-wingosphere is gonna point this out, that she's been slightly hypocritical here.
Wow, that that's a great point from this guy. I think like there's something going on with Anna. I think this is what's going on, and many people see it. Bill Maher said it also, and I think it's okay for the extreme left to push everybody away, including me. You know, like I was a Democrat. Like it's good for them to do that. But I think like what's going on with the left, I personally think we don't have to be ashamed of it. You know what I'm saying? You can be somebody that's not like extreme left, but you're not extreme right also. But you are in a place where you are a Democrat or a liberal, but you're not like extreme, like, you know, you don't believe that, like, because this is the way I look at the extreme left. This is the way I'm going to be honest. And I think if I say that, nobody on the extreme left is going to say no to that. If I tell everybody in Latin America to move to United States, all of them, everybody in Latin America move to United States, the extreme left is going to say that that's okay. It's like, you know, there should be no borders. I think the extreme left will say that. I really believe that. I don't think extreme left is going to say, no, that's too much. Why, you know what I'm saying? If something like that will happen, they will be totally okay with this. And the extreme left will look at things like if there's a lot of crime that increased by 50%, 100%, where everybody getting shot every day, they will not say that they see anything. They will not say it because it's against their narrative. They want to dunk on the Karen that's complaining about crime.
Some of the claims that he was making about, you know, his newfound identity. So, look, live and let live. Dave is doing his thing. I did feel that his pivot was strange, but maybe it was sincere. Who knows?
Well, you know, it's interesting. Somebody accused me of being
a phone hacking liar.
Wow. Did you hear this from Anna? I think his pivot was strange. Maybe it was real. Let me see. Like, but David pivot was a bit different.
Dave Rubin an apology. So it's kind of nice that at least somebody in the right-wingosphere is gonna point this out, that she's been slightly hypocritical here.
Some of the claims that he was making about, you know, his newfound identity. So, look, live and let live. Dave is doing his thing. I did feel that his pivot was strange, but maybe it was sincere. Who knows?
Well, you know, it's interesting. Somebody accused me of being
a phone hacking liar per a court in.
Oh God, yeah. Somebody was showing me this morning.
The UK.
You want to see this? Piers Morgan. So I actually had not seen this until.
I can't approve that he who knew what at what time, but looking at his style of editorship, I would say that it was very unlikely that he did.
The big question for Cenk is that why is Cenk not talking to Sam Seder? If you are clean, just talk to Sam Seder. I don't understand what's the big deal. So.
On the air on either TYT or on the Majority Report if they feel more comfortable with.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I feel like if Cenk was at all confident about this, he would definitely want to get Sam in a one-on-one debate situation.
They can do that.
That's true. Like there's something going on, man. I hope. I mean, let me tell you. You know what I feel? I think everybody in media, everybody in business has a lot of skeleton in the closet. Almost everybody. And I think even those people too, the majority report, I think that they're doing a game. They're acting like they are, like they're virtue signaling to us that they are the good one. But I think they're doing something too. Like I think what they are doing, they want the ship to sink so that they can steal their viewers and they can go bigger. That's what they want.
Out there. So Sam asked that of Cenk in the summer, and then publicly, I guess, 2 weeks or so, basically said we can talk about this in the conversation. No response. But
do I condemn hummus? Only certain brands, only certain store-bought brands, which I will not mention on Twitch.
Very
for fear of getting banned.
To go to Glenn Beck's studio and have a conversation themselves. So
they are taking the what they have been credited for through years of good work with a lot of good people. They are packaging up that for the marketplace and advertising it through picking a lot of fights. They've been doing this for a long time. We, 2 years ago, put a video up. The original title of that video was Anna Kasparian is not transphobic, where we tried to talk about the birthing person bullshit in a way that was constructive and could kind of maybe lead in a proper direction.
Yeah, I'll go one step further. I feel like you were way too kind. And there were people saying that MR was treating TYT with kid gloves. I mean, it's understandable given their prior relationship and given their attempt to be constructive. But MR was actually put in a bad position by TYT. When they come out with a video that's called TYT is not transphobic, and then TYT goes full transphobe, that makes MR look bad. So they, if anything, that they're worthy of criticism here, it's a...
Wow, I would like to see that video. That's
being too good of faith, not of trying to stoke drama like TYT is doing. And Matt is right that they use this shit to advertise themselves. They cause fights with the progressive left in order to advertise them to their new constituency, which is the MAGA right. And any
No. Like not honestly. Like what the extreme left doesn't understand. They feel like anytime you pivot a little bit to the right, that means you want to go to the extreme right. It's not that. It's that you try to appeal to the most broad people. You guys are in a bubble of the extreme left, and you guys believe in everything crazy. That like men and women are the same. Like oh whatever, transgender can like. Woman can should be able to box a cis woman. You know, you guys believe in stuff like that, and a majority of the people in the population are not like that. And basically, you got to be careful, especially when you're trying to win election. In politics, you got to play a game. It's not about throwing people under the bus. I don't think it's throwing people under the bus. I think it's basically hiding somebody that you love under like behind a curtain. Or put it, or like hiding them in a closet so after that you'll be able to save them or give them a better position. And I think most people that are normal would understand that.
Video that TYT does on trans rights, trans people, trans anything, you can see it in the comments. There's nothing but transphobic garbage in those comments, right? That's their new constituency. That is their new audience.
She didn't listen to any of that.
So this person is probably a transgender also. I don't know who he is. No comment check.
And instead got mad that somebody said that we were treating her with kid gloves. Because the truth was, we have been. For my entire career here at Majority Report, it has been a tongue-holding exercise for like Wolfpack, fucking harebrained. How many packs are we going to start to get money money out of politics?
They have not been called out for their ridiculous behavior. Yes, there's so much there. There's so much there. There's so much just sitting there. Brianna Wu, like explain yourself, TYT, explain yourself. Like it's one thing to be like, okay, look, I mean, this sounds weird, right? But we started a pack to try to help get money out of politics. But like, what do we got? Wolfpack, Rebellion Pack? How many packs are there? Political Action Committee, in other words, money in politics.
We have been.
How about one that pays Brianna Wu 5 figures for doing
genocide
to post on Twitter?
You need to understand that actually
they're not mean, they're nice, maybe too nice, right? If you want to criticize them for anything, criticize them for being too nice, criticize them for assuming that their friends are not going to stab trans people in the back like the way that they did.
It has been based on what I have asked for. Really, in part because of.
So this is the left, guys. This is the left. So they look at it like you stabbing them in the back. If Cenk say that like, hey, for high school we can ask the people, or you don't need to call me the birthing person thing. I understand that. I understand the birthing person thing. Like I understand what the left was saying at that time. The left was saying that like, why you need to bring up something that is not even there. Like so basically the left look at the way the left looks at situation. Why are you trying to bring up things that is not really an issue? Why? Like, you know what I'm saying? The birthing person, I totally understand that part. That part I get it. Because I think Anna messed up there. I think Anna kind of like was showing her emotion too fast. I think it was an impulse. She just said something because she saw that like, oh no, we're gonna call women birthing person. Cis women. Let's call cis women birthing person. But like, I kind of feel like it's not a real issue. It's just a name. Okay. Maybe we should call you women. You know, but like it's just a name thing. But the left was like, okay, let's not talk about this. You know that these people are already, the transgender people are already being discriminated. Why you want to bring this thing up? That's what they were saying. The left was saying.
And because of my personal feelings about the situation, because of how sad it made me. I'm not somebody. Trust me, you can ask my exes. I didn't break up with a lot of people. I stayed in way too many relationships for way too long because I tried to make things work for quite a while. That's not what happened here. So for us, I have plenty of wonderful friends in my personal life. I know you do as well, Matt. I don't need to put my...
Joe Destiny says hummus is smushed up chickpeas, right? Yeah, pretty much.
Relationships ahead of my professional...
Little tahini, little lemon juice, some salt, maybe some cumin.
I don't need to put personal relationship ahead of my work ethic. Is that... how do you find this? Don't put your personal relationship ahead of it. I think personal relationships are important too because they get personal, and this is really who you are. Your work, I don't know. Maybe I'm debating something that's like too much, but like
personal integrity.
It's kind of inappropriate to do so.
Even though
personal integrity. So that makes sense. So she doesn't want to put personal relationship in front of personal integrity. So she will stay clean and honest in her view, even though the person moving away from her. That's what she's saying.
In terms of like closeness, there are very few people in this field that I felt as close to as her. And at one point, I would say she was my best friend in this industry. But I have to, cut bait at this point because she also made an accusation that I heard that I called her sexual assault titillating, which.
So she has to cut bait. Wow, look at that.
If I were to be charitable, I'd say she was listening to one of those like stupid crime right-wing podcasts that she seems to be a fan of these days, and they cut it up in a way that was misleading. Or she's just lying about me because I would never, ever, ever do that. My case has always been that like some of these tough on crime narratives specifically,
like it doesn't even make sense. And what they're counting on is their parasocial relationship with their audience. And there has been a dynamic established. People that they're close to, people that they're friends with, people that were, I guess in the Majority Report's case, at one time or another, kind of part of their network, have gone to the right, have gotten weird, like Jimmy Dore did, right? Have become people that they don't want to work with anymore, right? And they're trying to sell the narrative that this is what's happening with Majority Report. Majority Report they're making a power grab, they're doing a clout chase or something like that, and that Emma's this horrible person that's like, oh, is she trying to titillate people with stories of her essay? No, that's not what Emma said at all. That's not even close to what Emma said, right? The titillation is not like sexual in nature. It's a titillation of racism. It's a titillation of racist instincts. It's a titillation of audiences like those of Actual Justice Warrior, a quote-unquote black crime YouTuber. And I'm sorry, Sean, if you don't like being called that, that's what the fuck you are. That's who your audience is. That's what they want to see. That's what they're looking for, and that's what you're fucking giving them, because you are a first-class scumbag. And yes, you are titillating their fucking worst racist instincts.
When a white woman is the subject of harm, are titillating to some people on the right who like to imagine themselves as white knights saving white women from the hordes of blacks.
Well, that's not what Emma said at all.
Oh my God, Emma is terrible. So anytime a white woman says a concern about like violence, it's like Karen. She goes straight to Karen. So this is good for white people. White people, I think like this is good. Emma, this is like, what God has done with like white people. The white community is amazing. So God created somebody like Emma, and this guy. What is this individual? This far left guy. And the game that they play is amazing against white people. So white people back in the days, they were dunking on black people there. But now, white people in 2024, there are white people that are playing the game like, hey, why are you complaining about black people? You just got beat down. You're Karen. That's basically what Emma is saying. So if a white woman get attacked, why are you being a Karen? You know what I'm saying? And Emma is white, by the way. She's not a woman of color. So she's like, she's never going to say that. But it feels like to me she's throwing her white sisters under the bus. Like, I don't have your back, man. Like, why you keep complaining about crimes? I don't have your back.
Weird, like Jimmy Dore did, right? Have become people that they don't want to work with anymore, right? And they're trying to sell the narrative that this is what's happening with Majority Report. Majority Report they're making a power grab, they're doing a clout chase or something like that, and that Emma's this horrible person that's like, oh, is she trying to titillate people with stories of her essay? No, that's not what Emma said at all. That's not even close to what Emma said, right? The titillation is not like sexual in nature. It's a titillation of racism. It's a titillation of racist instincts. It's a titillation of audiences like those of Actual Justice Warrior, a quote-unquote black crime YouTuber. And I'm sorry, Sean.
Justice Warrior. Let me look at this. Like I have to look at this. There's so much thing going on YouTube. Colors can take the white way is not good at all. Like what I'm saying. So yeah, they're never gonna get back to normal. So I like what Jake is trying to do, trying to talk to the right wing, Elon Musk and those gangs. But this thing is super risky. It might blow up in your face. It's like carrying hot potatoes in your hand, man.
If you don't like being called that, that's what the fuck you are. That's who your audience is. That's what they want to see. That's what they're looking for, and that's what you're fucking giving them, because you are a first-class scumbag. And yes, you are titillating their fucking worst racist instincts.
When a white woman is the subject...
The Justice Warrior does have a lot of things against black people when it comes to crime, but I don't know.
...of harm are titillating to some people on the right who like to imagine themselves as white knights saving white women from the hordes of black poor...
Literally AJW.
Oh my God. So white women in 2024 don't have the right to talk about any crime. It's okay to get punched in the face. There's something going on in the white community that is amazing. I love it. This thing is amazing. You will never take so. Like, if you would take those white people, it's like, you know what I feel about white people? They like to go to the extreme. Sometimes they go full extreme. They go Jim Crow. They hate everybody. They want to kill, like, get rid of everybody, like Hitler. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes they go extreme left, which is like do not complain about robbery or any violent act because you're a white woman, you're privileged, you're Karen. Everything is a Karen. So, sorry white people, you're Karen.
Literally AJW.
In the city.
And again, you're being very kind because we all know, as part of this business, why Steven Crowder starts his show with videos of young black teenagers assaulting elderly women, right? Like, we know what this is. And to say that actually what is being titillating is the act caught itself and not what this sort of poverty porn and violence porn is doing politically, you are fucking stupid. And you should not be in this business if you cannot take...
Yeah, exactly, Omega Star. You've really got to look down. You've really got to see Emma as being a very, unbelievably horrible person in order to buy into what Anna is saying.
For what it is. In
other words, they're going for the audience that just doesn't know. They know, Majority Report, they were, friendly with TYT, but I don't really watch them. Probably because it's too brainy. Let's be real. Probably because that first half is a very...
No, but, but why would she assume Emma has no humanity? Because in her mind, if she's talking about homeless people attacking her or whatever, I don't know if it did happen, but for some reason Emma is a psychic. She said that she knows that nothing happened to Anna and Anna is safe. And if it did happen, it's not about white or black. I think it's also, if it's a white man, it's bad for her. You're a woman. I don't understand what's going on with Emma. You're a woman. You should defend your women for their protection. We should protect our women. It seems like Emma is against that.
Very serious discussion, sometimes even a policy discussion, on stuff that people, if they're not versed in that policy, might not find interesting, right? Very different from what TYT serves up, which is essentially, it's like Velveeta cheese covering some overcooked broccoli, as opposed to MR that gives you your vegetables.
Smoking crime narratives, and people should watch the Jose Not a J video of they keep trying to distract from the real issues and are making the audience that is loyal to them dumber. The thing about Peter Thiel is not that Peter Thiel's a polymarket; it's because of you promoting betting. The thing with this Jose, the thing with Venezuela, the Venezuela gangs and the slum in Colorado is not that gang activity happens in slums. It's
okay. So. This shit that we see.
When you're in the vault, however your vault overseer describes the outside world is how you're going to believe it is. But once you go outside the vault and you see that there are people that are surviving, there are people that are making communities, yes, there are dangers, yes, there's radiation, but it's not the fucking thermonuclear wasteland that has been described, you're going to be...
No, but there was a spike in crime after COVID. You cannot say that you don't see it. You cannot keep playing that same game. I don't see it. There was a little bit of a spike in crime, man. You got to accept that.
Able to see that you were lied to. God, I hate to have to go to video game references, but that one comes to mind.
Work there, including John Idarola, including Francesca Fiorentini, who is a contractor, I believe, and deserved a lot better herself.
Oh my God! So TYT is going down in flame when it comes to the far left. This is the way I look at TYT. TYT has to distance themselves from the far left. They have to distance themselves from the far left, and I think TYT need to move more to the center, but with a lot of great progressive idea. And if there's some lefty that want to work with them, let it be. If they don't want to work with them, don't worry about it. All right? That's the way I look at the TYT.
So, for a lot of folks that got laid off.